Good afternoon. December 20th meeting, the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust will be in order, and the first item of business is the approval of the minutes from the December the 6th meeting.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Are there comments, questions, additions, corrections? Hearing none, voting please. It's approved. You'd think I'd figured that out by now. Next item is the consent docket.
Move approval subject to individual consideration.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent docket through item M, 13 items. Are there comments, questions, staff comments, anything? Voting please. Consent docket's approved. Next item on the agenda is a concurrent docket. There are 3 items on the concurrence docket.
Move approval subject to individual consideration.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the 3 items on the concurrence docket. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, voting please. Concurrence docket's approved. Next item. 2 items for individual consideration. They had amendments which we were attached to our packets. First item is a permit agreement it's a permit agreement. This agreement goes through October of 2019. I would like to see that. The problem is I think we can do better out there. I don't mind extending it through October or maybe through June or July, but I don't. The idea of extending it for virtually 3 more years when it's not what we want, I just don't. I'm not. Can we just hold that and put it on the next docket and talk about it between now and then?
So moved.
The motion is for what now?
Just to continue it to the next.
Okay. Second.
My concern is this. I mean, we've discussed in public and in private sessions about it. We're not satisfied with what's going on out there. And to extend it for that long a period of time troubles me. So that's it may be the only thing we can do, and we come back next time, we'll put it on here and then go forward with it. But that's just considering it's a bad situation. And I can see the lake situation improving dramatically in the next couple of years. There's no way we're going to go through the fluctuations in lake levels over the next 3 years. I wouldn't think that we've had to experience this last 3 years.
Well, and the trail isn't going to hurt a thing either.
What?
The trails won't hurt a thing either.
Oh, absolutely. To put a trailhead right at where the marina is could be a total game changer. So, okay, we have a motion and a second to continue the matter to the next agenda. So it's done. Next item is engineering services on the spillway and chute rehab at Lake Atoka. It also had an amendment with it also. That's right. That's it.
Move approval.
Have a motion and approve.
Second.
And a second to approve the item 5B. Voting please. 5B is approved. Next item from trustees. Any comments, Mr. Graves?
Well, actually, there was a newspaper article today that I noticed.
Yes, it was.
That I hope that folks will appreciate fully just what's been accomplished with the legislation finally passing in Washington and memorializing the agreement that Jim and Marcia and the staff spent innumerable hours over the last how many years negotiating.
Well, the settlement's been going on for about 6.
Yeah, and these are the kind of things that sort of slip under the the headlines and people don't really understand, but what's been accomplished now is significant in that we have secured water supply for the next however many years for Oklahoma City and for central Oklahoma in particular. And it's this kind of long-term planning that you don't often see a lot, quite frankly, with municipal governments where short-term pressures tend to pull and sway people. And so I just want to tip my hat to Jim and Marsh and everybody on the staff who worked so hard on getting this accomplished, because it's the kind of thing they're going to look back in 50 years and go, damn, those guys were smart when they did this. So,
It was a good team effort. And it's generational water. It's
Yeah.
going to be something that will, and it's not going to be available for a while. We're going to have to build another pipeline down to Token. We're going to have to build a pipeline from Atoka to Sardis. So it's going to be, a decade or two before we see the fruits of it.
but it's there. We've got it for as long as we need it. So thank you.
Well, the comment Jim made at council today really stuck with me, the about it being generational, though. I mean, obviously it is just from the standpoint of how much water it is, but when you look at how much is there versus how much we're using, it almost doubles our water supply, and that is remarkable.
And still leaves a tremendous amount of water available for other uses.
Right.
I mean, that's the comment that stuck with me through all of this was when the first mediator came in and we're trying to get his hands around what's going on. And you mentioned at one point he asked the question, well, how much water we're talking about? And it was like 7% of the rights. And he goes, they only call me in when they've already allocated 130% of the rights and we have to divide it up. What's the problem? And I think that was lost in all of this, that everyone who was concerned about water in the future realized that there's still a tremendous resource that's available for the rest of the state, particularly that part of the state, to take advantage of if we'll just, continue to be good stewards and look for those appropriate development opportunities.
All right. Any other trustee comments? Moving to the general manager's report, the status report for November is in our packet. Any comments from staff about that, or any? The fiscal year pro forma is also in through October 31st. Comments about that?
Mr. Chairman, currently we are tracking as expected. Our revenues are down a little bit, but so are our expenditures, so we're on target for the year.
Any other comments? Are there citizens to be heard? We're adjourned. Thank you.